Welcome to the Best Small Business Podcast, where BJ and I deliver powerful insights, breakthrough ideas, and simple solutions to make your business unbelievably successful. I'm Rich G.
And I'm BJ Flagg, and this is episode 165, our favorite business books of 2020. I love this time of year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Very good. You should try out for a choir or something.
I know.
Yeah.
Dean Martin and I have nothing on the holidays. It's so wonderful.
Right. But you know what? We usually talk about over 100 business and marketing and self-help books each year. And, candidly, most of them are pretty awful.
Yeah, they suck.
Yeah. And
they're awful.
Guys.
Yeah. You know what it is they have good ideas, but you get about 70 to 100 pages in and you go, okay, this is good. And then the rest of the book is just either it goes downhill fast or it's a rehash of the first 70 pages.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm really falling in love with a lot shorter books, that really just get to the gist and get in, get out, rather than, the publisher saying it needs to be 300 pages. So
exactly. And I think a lot of the books that we're going to discuss today are great books if you wanted to get somebody something for the holiday season. I think they're good.
Absolutely. Give them to your clients. Give them to your team. These are great books. If you're thinking of gifts, people love this stuff. They love when people recommend great books to them. And
some of them are a little heady, are dealing with some things that are, they're going to be more management team, leadership team books. But others are good. I think it's a good list.
You don't like any of my books, but that's okay.
Just think. It was great. When we were coming up with a list, we did not communicate with each other and then presented our books. No overlaps, which I thought was hilarious, and a very eclectic group, which
absolutely.
I think is fantastic. So I'm going to start us off.
Yeah, go for it, BJ.
All righty. So the first one is Atomic Habits, a easy and powerful way to build good habits and break bad ones. Written by James Clear. And I really love this book. It was tiny changes and remarkable results.
I love James. I love James Clear. I haven't read the book, but I get James Clear's blog every week. It's wonderful.
And what was really cool about this one is that it actually gives you the ability to form those good habits, break the bad ones, but then also master these tiny behaviors that lead to success. I think people get this feeling like, I got to throw out the entire kitchen sink. No. You got to kind of distill the complex topics into small behaviors that then can easily be applied to things, not just to your business, but to your daily life. That's why I think you probably like James Clear so much, Rich.
Yeah, I like it. I like it because that's what happens when we try to do a big change in our life and we get off course. We're moving along and everything's great. And then suddenly you have a bad day or a bad week and you don't do those things. And then we tend to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We stop doing it. And I think what you're saying is James says, no. You need to make small little changes.
Yeah. And I am a sucker for reading great stories. He has a whole bunch in there, Olympic gold medalists and award-winning artists. So there's so many good stories that kind of describe the concept of the small habits and build them into, your craft, whatever it is that you're doing. So I think it's a good one. That's a good one.
Oh, it sounds wonderful. I have to read it over the holidays. This will be great.
Exactly.
Well, my book is a little bit different. It's called The Way of the Wolf by someone you've probably heard of, Jordan Belfort, who is the main character of Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street. This is the guy who went to jail.
The real guy. Oh my God.
This is the guy that was convicted by the FBI for bad stocks sales trading and stuff like that. But and BJ, there's a lot of but in here. But okay. Jordan is giving you his playbook and gives you access to his step-by-step system. And he used to create massive wealth for himself. And I'm going to be honest, none of it is illegal. None of it is illegal. He's focusing totally on, here are the steps. Here's the psychology to win people over to sell your product. Here's the process that I did. And he normally charged $2,000 for this online training. Now he's giving it to you in a book form. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, he has a lot of time in his hands, so he can write it. So that.
Well, no, he's out now. He was only in for a number of years. He's out, but he unleashes the power of persuasion. He shows you how to persuade people, and revealing how anyone could bounce back from a devastating setback like his. Master the art of persuasion and build wealth. Every technique, every strategy, every tip has been tested. I think we've all seen that scene on YouTube where he walks into that penny stock place and he sells $5,000 or $6,000 worth of stock on his first call. But you see his powers of persuasion, of pausing, of challenging. We need to do that when we're selling products. Yes.
So that's more of an aggressive way, right? Of doing it. Now
a little bit.
I'm going to bring you a book that is also kind of dealing with the idea that we have so many problems that are hitting us.
Yep.
And what is it that we can do? So this one's called Upstream, The Quest to Solve Problems Before They Happen. It's by Dan Heath, who's just great. And the book helps you prevent problems before they happen, kind of drawing on the insights of just 100 interviews that the guy has done and, very unconventional problem solvers. I got into it just because it really talked about the fact that we're stuck in this cycle of response, kind of like being reactive as opposed to proactive. And we're built on the concept of just putting out fires. I don't know if you remember that West Wing where the President Bartlett says, "What's next?"
Yes.
Right? So his cycle has to do with the emergencies, always trying to deal with the emergencies. And that's what's considered staying downstream.
Yeah.
And if you handled the problem differently, you will handle it more in an upstream type of way. So you're dealing with the psychological forces that push us downstream and try to get you to think, no. To overcome those, you need to think more this way. So it's playing with your mindset, which I think is exciting.
It sounds incredible. It sounds, again, we did these blind, so I didn't know what books you're going to read. I didn't read this book either, so I have to. I've seen it on a lot of YouTubers and podcasters lists, so it's a big book.
Yes,
a lot of people.
What's so funny about it, Rich, is like, I know you're reading all the time, and I'm reading all the time. And what's interesting is to see the different books that we read, but we also kind of bring them together, if you know what I mean. These are a lot of same type of points that you would bring to a client. So I thought that was good. That was a good one.
I love it. I love it. So the one, this is a book, and BJ is laughing because this is a topic that I've been screaming from the rooftops for the last 5 years to every one of my clients, to anybody that wants to listen. When I speak in front of groups, I scream about this, and everybody looks at me like, Oh, that's not going to happen.
Right.
The book's called The Future is Faster Than You Think: How Converging Technologies Are Transforming Business, Industries, and Our Lives. This is
Ooh.
an incredible book by Peter Diamandis and Stephen Kotler. Diamandis and Kotler. Diamandis does a lot of YouTube videos. Please go out and watch one of them. It's going to change your life on how he talks about the subtle technological changes that are going to have massive effects. And we're seeing it right now with COVID, the massive effect of companies going, you could work from home. It's no big deal.
Right.
Where it would have been heresy a year ago to let your entire staff work from home.
Right.
It's incredible. The book is all about technology is accelerating far more quickly than anyone could imagine. You don't realize it. And it's like the perfect storm of all these technologies coming together. And it's going to radically change the way you do business, the way you sell products, the way you get customers. During the next decade, we're going to experience more upheaval and create more wealth than we have in the past 100 years.
Amazing.
And it's powerful. They investigate how wave after wave of accelerating technologies are going to impact our daily lives and society as a whole. And again, we're seeing it happen. We're seeing things like I scream about Tesla and self-driving cars on how that's going to radically change. And people go, oh, that's like 20, 30 years away. I go, no, it's 2 to 3 years away.
Yeah. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this book is just the whole concept of, we used to think that these waves would happen in 20 years.
Yeah.
Now we're down to maybe 20 months.
20 months.
So dramatic. Yeah.
Think about all the people using Zoom right now and how Zoom is just getting better. And there was a thing for Thanksgiving, Zoom's going to be free. You could stay on as long as you want. And I was like, that's a smart business. They are so smart to do that. Right. So keep going.
I totally don't want to give away a couple of our 2021 topics.
Yes.
But totally plays into some of those topics. Just the concept that businesses are doing things like you would never see a corporation saying, we're going to give it away for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You would just never see that. And to see a major company like that go, we're going to do it is phenomenal.
And companies saying we're going to be closed on, we're going to close on Thanksgiving and on the holidays. It's amazing. I'm like, yes, don't go. So they talk all about AI and robotics and virtual reality and digital biology and sensors, blockchain. Just get the book. And if you don't get the book, watch a few YouTube videos with Peter Diamandis. You'll be blown away.
Yeah, that's a good one, Rich. I like
that
one. Now, this one is a little bit softer, and I absolutely loved it, though. I was really shocked. It's called The Confidence Code, The Science and Art of Self-Assurance, What Each Woman Should Know. But shockingly, I think it applies to everybody. It's Katie Kay and Claire Shipman. I don't know if you've heard them speak. Katie is with BBC Worldwide America. And she met, obviously, through business and all that stuff. She met Claire Shipman, and who's on, Good Morning America. And what was amazing is that they realized that they both were the authors of Womenomics, which goes back a little bit, but they deconstruct the concept of this misunderstood quality, and then they offer a blueprint to kind of take you forward in your life as to what you can do. I think what they were trying to say is that confidence is something that a lot of people feel don't realize that it's hardwired into your DNA.
Yes.
For a lot of people, you saw them. It's the people who, win the debate club and do all that kind of stuff. But what's more important is just kind of understanding why so many people struggle with it.
Yeah.
And that was a key point in this one. And I'm sure you've seen it in your, in your coaching experience.
Oh yeah. Look, I want to get this book, and I think a large part of it is that people are confident in certain situations. And when we're out of our comfort zone, which is a lot, it could be speaking in front of a group. It could be asking for a raise. It could be going after that big client. Our confidence goes to zero. But then at other times it's at 100. And this book, it sounds like it deconstructs the whole confidence issue on why we do this. It sounds incredible. It sounds like a great book.
It was a great one. And it was interesting. It's the reverse of what you were talking about before, where if you, after that 100 page, it's a short book, but after about a quarter of the book, I got more into it because they went into the whole concept of the neuroscience behind it. And, exactly what leading psychologists, can explain, simply by taking action and courting risk a bit, how these actions actually start to change your physical wiring.
Wow.
So loved it. So I'm hoping they'll just keep writing, because this kind of book where it's got a lot of the psychological in it, I love.
Yeah.
Absolutely love.
And it's funny that you say that, because there are books that we read that, like, you're at the end going, I can't believe the book's done. This was a great book. Oh my God.
I know.
And you're like, I want to read it again. It was so good. Yeah. So,
and it did have that quick read, which was great.
Now, this is a book, our last book that I have is both BJ and I read it. Exactly. And it's like, I follow this podcast religiously. It's How I Built This, The Unexpected Path to Success from the World's Most Inspiring Entrepreneurs by Guy Raz. And Guy Raz, he does the podcast called How I Built This. It's NPR's podcast, and he speaks with people and people that have started businesses and how they did it.
Successful entrepreneurs. I mean, it's just such a good podcast.
It's so good. And what's interesting about it is that he doesn't let them give the company line. He actually goes, come on now. How did you really do it? Oh, yeah. Like one of my favorite ones, if you get a chance, go download this podcast. It's with Sarah Blakely, who was the inventor and owner of Spanx. And she is actually one of the richest women in the world. She totally owns it. Spanx is still a private company, and she owns 100% of it. She's a billionaire. She's an incredible, incredible woman.
Amazing.
And so the book,
I think the book was the one of my favorite things about the book is anybody who likes little nugget reading is what I call it, where you just can read one little part and then step away for a minute. This is that book.
Yeah, and it helps you cope. It overall, you start hearing these interviews, and you realize it helps you cope with the struggles and self-doubt that you have, because they've had it too. Starting a business or pursuing a big idea in your workplace. So if you're someone that's interested in starting your own business or managing your current business, this is the book to get. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I think that when people really understand that there are just certain considerations or milestones about starting your business or growing it, you're going to realize that, you need to hear from common experiences. So it just plays right to that. I loved it.
It was a good one. Yeah, it's really good. So that's it. And that's it for today. Hit the subscribe button down below to ensure you never miss an episode. And if you've liked this podcast, feel free to share it with your friends. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And click the thumbs up button. The more you click, the more you hear our weekly podcasts.
And we want to thank all of our core business partners who have helped us get to 166 podcasts and our unbelievable producer, editor, Richard Scalzo.
Yes.
Makes everything happen. We will speak to you soon and have an unbelievable week.
And an incredible Thanksgiving. Catch you later.